The excitement is palpable as the Maple Leafs prepare for what could be a pivotal moment in their quest for glory. Rumours are swirling about potential departures and arrivals that could shake up the roster. Could we be witnessing the end of an era for some players who have donned the blue and white? As we grapple with the implications of these moves, one thing is clear: the stakes have never been higher. Don't miss out on our in-depth analysis of what this could mean for the team's fate. As we dive into the latest buzz surrounding our beloved Toronto Maple Leafs, it's clear that a trade is on the horizon. And it's not just speculation anymore. Insider Jonas Siegel has laid out the team's top trade assets, giving us a glimpse into what might unfold as we approach the deadline. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation, but there's a lot hanging in the balance. Starting strong, Siegel highlights Easton Cowan and the Leafs' first-round pick in 2027 as the crown jewels. Now, let me tell you, as much as I'd love to see immediate success, trading away a prospect like Cowan is a monumental risk. He represents the future of this franchise, and giving him up for a short-term gain. That's a gamble I'm not sure I'm ready to take. It's not just about making a splash at the deadline, it's about the long-term vision for this team. If Toronto is not completely desperate, Cowan should remain untouchable. Then there's the first-round pick in 2027. We all know that picking high can lead to landing a superstar, and what if that pick turns into the next generational talent? It's hard to justify trading away the future for a quick fix. Imagine if we lose Mitch Marner and then trade that pick for a player who doesn't elevate us to championship contention. The stakes are high, and I can't help but feel torn. Are we willing to risk our future for a shot at glory now? Moving down the list, we see Fraser Minten and the 2026 first-rounder. Minten is an intriguing piece, with solid defensive skills and the potential to develop into a reliable center. He's not Cowan, but he could contribute positively. If there's an opportunity to bring in a player of significant caliber, like Noah Dobson or Dylan Cozens, I can see a case for moving Minten. But we must proceed with caution. Toronto's window to win is closing fast, but we should only sacrifice assets if we know we're getting a game-changer in return. The next tier includes players like Ben Danford, Artur Akhtiamov, and Dennis Hildeby. These are guys the Leafs should be open to discussing if the right deal comes along. Danford might not be the flashiest name, but he could develop into a solid defender. Akhtiamov and Hildeby are interesting goaltending prospects, and, with the current logjam in net, one might need to be moved. But we have to weigh their potential against what we could bring back. And let's not forget about Nikita Grebenkin. He's a fan favorite, and trading him could sting. Fans love his energy and offensive upside, and I get it. He's a joy to watch. But if a team is eager to pay a premium for him, I think the Leafs need to consider it seriously. Now, we reach the lower tier of assets, where names like Nick Robertson and Pontus Holmberg reside. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Robertson should have been moved a while back. His potential hasn't translated into consistent production, and it's hard to see him fitting into the current lineup. Holmberg hasn't impressed either, and honestly, it's time to face the facts. They just don't bring the value we need right now, and if they can be part of a deal that nets us something substantial, I wouldn't hesitate. And then we get to the last group, Max Domi, David Kampf, and the others. Domi, to me, is a head-scratcher. He's underperforming and carrying a hefty price tag that just doesn't make sense anymore. Kampf has been a solid fourth-line player, but is he worth his salary? It's a tough call. And let's not even get started on Timmins. His play has been frustrating, to say the least. We need to find a desperate team willing to take a chance on these players, but that's a tough sell. All of this leads to a pivotal question. How much is Brad Treliving willing to sacrifice for a shot at the cup? If we see Cowan traded, it signals a clear message that this team is all in for the immediate future. But if he can work some magic and fill gaps without sacrificing too much of our future, well, that's when I'll really start believing in Treliving's vision. TSN insider Bob McKenzie has just dropped a bombshell regarding Mitch Marner's future with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and as a die-hard fan, I can't help but feel a mix of anxiety and curiosity about what's next. We all know Marner has been a pivotal player, showcasing his talent not just in the regular season but also representing Canada on the international stage. His brilliant performance at the Four Nations face-off, where he scored the overtime goal against Team Sweden and assisted in the final against the USA, is a reminder of what he can bring to the table when the stakes are high. This is the kind of clutch performance Leaf fans dream of seeing in the playoffs. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the looming free agency. Marner will be hitting the market at the end of this season, and Mackenzie, with his insider knowledge, suggests that it's highly probable we won't see him re-sign with the Leafs. I mean, just think about it. Losing a player of Marner's caliber would be a significant blow to our roster. He's already racked up an impressive 710 points in 632 regular season games and has contributed 50 points in 57 playoff contests. This is a player who knows how to find the back of the net when it matters most, and yet there's that nagging feeling that the playoffs have been a different story for him. Mackenzie articulated something that resonates deeply with me. Players like Marner are hard to come by. And it's true. The skill set he brings is unique. He's not just another face in the lineup, he's a game changer. Yet here we are, grappling with the reality that our beloved Leafs might let him slip through their fingers. I can't help but wonder if the front office is doing enough to keep him in blue and white. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. The sentiment around the league seems to echo the uncertainty in our hearts. Mackenzie believes that while the Leafs understand the stakes, it's more likely that Marner will enter free agency rather than sign a new deal. This isn't just a business decision, it's about the future of a franchise that has faced its share of playoff disappointments. With Austin Matthews also in the mix, we have to ask ourselves, how long can we keep this core together? What's the strategic vision moving forward? As a fan, I feel a sense of urgency here. Each game, each season is a chance to chase the ultimate dream, the Stanley Cup. It's been far too long since we've raised that trophy, and the pressure is mounting. Marner's contributions cannot be understated. He's been a consistent performer, and while some may point to his playoff struggles, I believe that a player of his talent can rise to the occasion. It's all about finding the right support and making sure the pieces fit together. What does this mean for the future of the Maple Leafs? If Marner does in fact hit free agency, it could open up a world of possibilities, but at what cost? The emotional investment we've all made in this player is significant. He embodies what it means to be a Leaf, and losing him would not only impact the team's performance, but also the spirit of the fan base. So, what's next? Should the front office pull out all the stops to keep Marner, or is it time to explore other avenues? The conversation around what the Leafs should do is heating up, and I want to hear from you. What do you think? Are you on board with the idea of letting Marner test the waters, or do you believe he should be a priority for re-signing? And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. This is a pivotal moment for our team, and it's crucial we engage in this dialogue as passionate fans. Let's rally together and discuss our hopes, dreams, and fears for the future of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on all things Leafs. Activate that notification bell to get all the latest updates. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see how this unfolds. Let's keep the conversation going.